believe Martin is with us. Hi Martin, good afternoon. This is Nantara Rai in New Delhi. This is a mega ET Now exclusive where we understand the two promoters that launched India's most successful airline have seemed to run into rough weather. They have differences with each other that have come out. They've hired law firms to iron out those differences. Like I'll point out, too early to say litigation, too early to say arbitration, but the fact is the two promoter groups obviously are having issues big enough to go to law firms. What do you make of this? And at a time, look at what's happened to Jet Airways. Look at the vacuum that you already have in the aviation sector.
Nayantara, good afternoon and good to be on ET Now. I think it's absolutely shocking that we hear such news. You know, let's face it, Gangwal and Bhatia were always the Batman and Robin of the airline business in India. They were perfect alter egos to each other, and for them to have differences of opinion crop up means a lot. And for them to engage lawyers itself it suggests that this really isn't just a small difference of opinion. It's something more sinister and more catastrophic than something which is just a minor squabble. Usually the board, such differences can be addressed at the board quite easily, but for them to take external legal assistance and help and build a legal counsel, it certainly suggests something which, again, I don't want to speculate. I've never speculated, but if they're looking at a legal recourse, then obviously it's something which has been historic in nature. The airline business, general aviation in India is pretty much crumbling. Air India is down by, 40 aircraft. Jet is pretty much, well, it's non-existent anymore. Pavanance is a loss-making company. Now Indigo, SpiceJet is just about coming up. Go Air is barely holding its ground. We've had 4 or 5 airlines under Udan which have closed up. So it's not looking good, and the writing's on the wall. And I think
Martin, you know, the markets are trading. Martin, the markets are trading, you know, and you track the aviation sector so well. So talk to the viewers and the ET Now community that are tuning in at the moment. You know, you said the Batman and Robin. It has often been said that, you know, while Gangwal may be seen as a person behind the efficiency of the airline, having been responsible for getting those large orders simply because of what he has done previously at United, American Airlines, etc., Rahul Bhatia has been seen as more the marketing genius, the more extroverted partner at Indigo. But, you know, having said that, would you agree if there is certainly a perception that Gangwal of late has taken more executive control by the recent senior hirings that have taken place? Look no further than the current CEO. Look no further than Aditya Ghosh, who was known to be close to Rahul Bhatia, is no longer with the airline.
Well, there's been a metamorphical change at Indigo, and I agree with you that, you know, when you go global, you need to hire global professionals, and that's where Gangwal steps up to the plate and takes the shots as opposed to Bhatia. You know, Bhatia knows the Indian market like the back of his hand, and he has grown it and made it what it is today. But now they enter phase 2. It's like a next level of, you know, in a game. And international is where Gangwal takes the lead with his curated team and professionals. And if that is the reason for this disagreement, then I think it's pretty immature on both of them to make such a huge big deal out of it. I do believe that better sense prevails in them, and they come to some sort of a resolution before it gets too late. Now, let's be clear. We're not going to look at this being a big explosion or one of them pull out of the company and, you know, more to cash in their chips. I don't think that's true. And I don't believe it's going to happen. Why would you give up so much in so little? So I think let's all look at this positively. Let's keep a track on it. And I don't believe it's going to be crazy enough for Indigo to drop. But yes, having said that, it is certainly it is worrisome.
Okay, you know, with that, we have to come out of this story. We are, you know, headed towards a closing bell. Martin, it's always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks so much for joining us.